everybody, it's me, Miss U, and we're going to go through the homework. Hopefully you did it and you're just checking your answers. So the first one we did in class, but I'm going to go over it. Remember, I'm just redrawing the triangle. This is 6, this is 12, this is the wire. They're two superimposed and they asked us to find the closer length of each wire. So it's just 6 squared plus 12 squared is equal to C squared. This is A, this is B, this is C, okay? This is 36 plus 144 is equal to C squared. This is 180 is equal to C squared. And that is, when you do the square root, it becomes 13.4. So the next step is to do the square root. We get 13.4 is equal to C, and here it is. Next, we're going to go the distance from the base of the flagpole to the point on the ground is 24 feet. The flagpole has a height of 18 feet, and they want to know what is X. And for us, X is C, the flagpole length is A, the ground length is B. So I get, this is, I guess, the guy wire. A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. 18 squared plus 24 squared is equal to C squared. Putting in my calculator, I'm going 18 squared plus 24 squared is equal to 900. And the last step, we want to do the square root. And of course, the square root is 30 is equal to C. 30 is equal to C. Okay, let's turn the page. Okay, next we're looking at the diagram. Shows a circle with an inscribed right triangle and some of its measurements. So what is the diameter of the circle? So of course it's A, B, and C. C is always opposite 90 degrees. It's also the longest side, so I have A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to C squared. 64 plus 36 is equal to C squared. 100 is equal to C squared. Doing the square root of 100, I get 10. That's equal to C. What is the diameter? The diameter is 10. What is the circumference of the circle? Remember, circumference of the circle, you could find it on your formula sheet, but circumference is equal to 2 pi r, which is equal to pi d. Okay, so the circumference is equal to 10 pi, which is equal to 10 times 3.14, which is equal to 31.4. And that's units. Okay, let's look at the next one. What is the length of the diagonal of the square? Of course, it's A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. A squared is 8 squared plus 8 squared is equal to C squared. 64 plus 64 is equal to C squared. 128 is equal to C squared. The square root of 128, putting it in our calculator, I get 11.3 is equal to C. And that's the answer. Here it says the perimeter of a square is 48 inches. What is the area? The perimeter is equal to 48, so it's x, 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 and x. X plus x plus x plus x is equal to 48. That's because the four sides add up to 48. X is equal to 48. This is a one-step equation. We're going to divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 12. Okay. x is equal to 12. But it's asking us what is the area. Area is equal to 12 times 12, which is equal to 144 inches squared. This is the answer. Last page. The length of a rectangular patio is 3 times its width. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a rectangle. I'm writing the width, and of course this is the length. But it tells us the length is 3 times the width. And they also tell us the area. So we know the area of a rectangle is length times width. And this is equal to 432. Okay. So for W, we have W. For length, we have 3W. So 3W times W is equal to 432. 3W squared is equal to 432. The next step, you want to divide by 3. So I end up, let's just recopy the last sentence. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. I end up with 144. So W squared is equal to 144. That means W is equal to 12. And that's feet. But that's not what they're asking us. What is the length? The length is equal to 3W. So the length is equal to 3 times 12. And that's equal to 36. And the answer is D. That was a hard question. Now let's do this last question. We've done it before. Hopefully you remember it. What they're asking us here is what is the perimeter in units of the parallelogram? So we have to add up the length of all the sides. But in order to calculate the sides, we have to divide this into right triangles and use Pythagorean. Here's one right triangle. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. Now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so this is 5, and this is 12. And of course, this is a right triangle. So we could go a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. A squared is 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. I end up with 144 plus 25 is equal to c squared. I have 169 is equal to c squared. So in order to figure out what c is, we have to square root it. The opposite of squaring is square rooting. And I get 13 is equal to c. Okay. Let's do one more just like that. Now it does tell us that this is a parallelogram. So if this is 13, you know that this is 13 because it's a parallelogram. So now we have to do the shortest side. We're going to create a triangle. I know it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know this is 1, 2, 3. I know this is 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to c squared. 16 plus 9 is equal to c squared. 25 is equal to c squared. And of course, square rooting it, 5 is equal to C. So I'm going to call this 5 and 5. So I'm going 13, 13, 5, and 5. Let's add it together. And that is the perimeter. 13 plus 13 plus 5 plus 5. This is 26. This is 10. And this is equal to 36. And of course, the answer is B.